Hello, my name is Flo and welcome to Don't Stress the Wedding Dress. I've worked in a range of bridal shops with a variety of brides, and my experience has taught me one key thing. Every single bride felt stressed, anxious, or nervous about something to do with finding the dress. I was really good at helping brides through these fears and insecurities to feel amazing in their perfect dress. This is something that I wanted to share with as many brides as possible. So please enjoy my first video, 5 tips for booking a stress-free appointment. I'm guessing you're here because you are a little bit stressed or anxious or nervous, or you just don't know where to start and you're looking for your wedding dress. So I've worked in a range of bridal shops, from an off-the-rack kind of discount store down to one of the poshest shops I've ever seen in my life down on Bond Street. And one of the things that I really noticed that was universal between both shops and basically any bride that I spoke to was that every single bride who came through the door had something that they were nervous about, something they wanted to cover up, something they didn't really want on show, something that they were anxious about, something that was maybe going on in their family, something to do with their health, something just to do purely with the way that they looked. And that was something which I saw in everybody, no matter their size, their time, the budget, no matter what it was. Every bridal experience came with a little bit of stress and a little bit of anxiety. And we don't all have a natural inbuilt confidence. We don't all have £1 million to spend on a dress. We don't all have all the family to be around us that we want. It is actually quite an emotional and quite a stressful experience, and I understand that because I witnessed it. What I see my job as and what I want to help you guys all do was what I did when I worked one-on-one with brides, which was guide them through the process. Make it less stressful, make it a bit easier, tell you some tricks of the trade, and speak from my own experience to let you know that how you feel, if you feel nervous or if you feel anxious or if you feel stressed, is completely normal, and that we will find a dress for you and you will love it and you will feel amazing. And any worries or questions or direction that you want, I'm here to answer, and I'm here to make videos to help you. So what I'm going to do today is just talk through 5 easy tips to think about before you're going to book your first bridal appointment, just to take the stress out right from the start. So stick around and see what my tips are. So number 1, before you do anything, just have a little think about your budget. You just want to get an idea of what it is you are willing or aren't necessarily willing to spend. Some brides don't want to spend that much because they think it's just my dress I'm gonna wear for one day, I don't need to spend the world on it, I'm not going to, for exactly the same reason. Other brides will think I'm gonna spend as much as I want on it. So just have a little think about it, get a rough idea for your kind of budget, and then just make sure that when you're looking at shops and looking at different places to visit, you're just bearing that in mind. The worst thing would be to go to a shop and find that it's seriously over budget, or if you're looking to spend a lot, seriously under budget. It's just something to primarily think of before you get going. So tip number 2, this one's particularly relevant since COVID and because of Brexit, is to think about your timelines. So if you're a bride who's looking to get married in the next 2 months, or a bride who's looking to get married in the next year or year and a half, you're probably most likely going to end up needing to look in different places. Most brides don't know this, but some bridal shops that are offering kind of made-to-measure dresses, they will ask for about a year for your dress to be made. Like I mentioned, because of Brexit and with COVID, global supply chains have been quite delayed at the moment. The shop I just worked in was asking for 9 months to a year. On the other hand, if you've only got a couple of months, a lot of dresses can be sold off the rail, as in they come just as they are, you buy them and take them with you, and then you might get them altered somewhere else. They don't need to be made, they don't need to be ordered in. Now, I had brides who turned up for their appointment and realised that there was 3 dresses they could try on because none of them were going to be there in time, and that is quite stressful, not only for the bride but also for me. So bear that in mind before you go. Number 3, and this one is about sizing. This can be sometimes a bit of a tricky topic, but it really shouldn't be. I can promise you from experience and having seen it with my own eyes, every bride, no matter what size, when they find that perfect dress, they look absolutely beautiful. I've worked in bridal shops that have stocked from a size 6 up to a size 32, and I saw it over and over and over again. That right dress will make you feel amazing. bridal can be a pretty brutal industry for sizing. A bit like finding a pair of jeans. Depending on where you go, you'll be a different size in one shop and another, or figure out here when you think about sizing is this shop that you're going to likely to stock a dress size that you can try on. And I say that only because I worked in one dress shop that stocked up to a size 32, which was amazing because basically every single bride I saw I could find a dress for, and they had a great experience with me. The other shop that I worked in, the standard dress size was a size 12. I really struggled with that because I didn't think it was very representative of the population in general, and every bride wants to look beautiful, and they should make sure they can cater for every bride. But I had a lot of brides tell me they'd been to different shops that had been snobby or not very accommodating, this, that or the other, and they just hadn't had any dresses that they could try on, and when they left they just felt shit. So just have a think and ask maybe about what average dress size of that shop is going to be. You all deserve to have an amazing experience trying on dresses, and I would hate for any of you to go to an appointment and knock at the door and somebody tells you that they only have 2 dresses for you to try on. You don't need to be squeezed into dresses, you don't need to be pulled into dresses, you also don't need to be pinned into them, you know, if they're all too big. So you should check that they stock something that might be in your size and have a great experience when you go, because you know that they're there to look after you and to make you feel great. For tip number 4, and this is probably one that most of you have already come across if you've looked online about bridal shopping, or even if you've just watched Say Yes to the Dress, and that is just to think carefully about who you're going to take with you. And I say that in the nicest way. The hardest and most stressful appointments that I witnessed in either shop that I worked in were when you had a difficult mum, and they exist, or a difficult sister, and they also exist, or a difficult bridesmaid, a difficult mother-in-law, difficult friend, they all exist. Choose 2 or 3 close people whose opinions you can count on, and who you know are going to look after you and be nice to you. You will feel happier having less opinions, less eyes staring at you, all that kind of thing. But I mean, a lot of shops will actually invite you to go back for a fitting, or to go back to collect the dress or something like that. If they, they're going to steam it, they're going to clean it, or when it's fitted, and then you can take a bigger party of people with you. By that point, they know that you've bought the dress and that you've chosen the dress. And it's much easier for you to kind of facilitate that, look at this, we could try a veil, we could do this, we could do that, but this is the dress. That's going to be easier for you than having 6 or 7 bridesmaids who have all got different opinions, all want you to try different things on, because those kind of appointments do become really quite stressful quite quickly. So just bear that in mind. This is about you, and it's about how you feel in your dress, and it's for you and your partner, and that is the most important thing. And if you have a really strong knowledge of that when you go into these appointments, even if they feel a bit overwhelming, even if you think maybe you have taken too many people with that, just have the confidence to tell them that that's not what you want and there's something else that they want. And if they're not being very nice about it, come back by yourself with a better friend. If you have any more questions about those kind of situations, I promise I've seen a lot of them, so just drop me a comment below. And point number 5, have an open mind. I would say that 80% of the brides that I saw ended up with something that I'd chosen. Everybody ends up with something pretty different to what they thought they would. Bridal dresses online look so different to how they look in person. Materials are different, colours, shapes, all that kind of thing. Your bridal consultant will also have a lot of knowledge. She'll have seen a lot of people in dresses, and she'll have put a lot of people in dresses. She will have a good idea of the stock, what's available, what they can get in time. So listen to them and what they've got to say. Bearing in mind, you'll have your own style and you'll want that to come through, and you might just go in, choose a dress, and it's the perfect one. That does happen quite often, more often than you would think. But I'm saying have an open mind, try something a bit different, give it a go. I always said to my brides, if I pulled a dress and they went like they looked a bit like, oh, I wasn't sure about that, I always just said to them, listen, what's the worst that happens? If you don't like it, I'll just take it off. I'll just take it off and I'll put it back on the hanger and I'll put it back on the rail and you never have to see it again. But if you do like it, it might give us a lead to something else, or if you love it, it might be the dress. So just have an open mind when you go into these things. You will find it easier, for sure. So that is my video for today and my 5 tips, which I hope that you found a little bit useful. If you have any questions, please comment below. Otherwise, if you enjoyed the video, please drop me a like, or if you want to see more, please subscribe. I will be uploading once every 2 weeks, so thank you for watching, and hopefully I'll see you again soon.